this is Shanna. I'm about ready to do a video. If you're interested in exploring inversions, this one's for you. Hope you enjoy. When you're ready, come to the top of the mat and close your eyes. Take a couple inhales and exhales through your nose. Take a deep inhale through your nose and pause at the top. And let it all out. Take another inhale, nice big deep inhale through your nose and pause at the top. And let it all out. Any anxiety or stress or whatever you're holding inside of you, just let it all go. And one more deep lung inhale and pause at the top. And release. Go ahead and wiggle your hips back and forth. Notice the connection between your upper body and lower body. Through this practice, make sure you pay attention to your hips and how they flow through your movements, and if you're feeling any tension, just let it all go and relax and take your time. And sway your hips side by side, maybe even in circular motions back and forth. Notice your breath. And your next inhale, go ahead and meet me in downward facing dog. And pedal your feet back and forth, awakening your arms and your legs. Really root your fingertips into the mat and your toes, the palms of your hand or hands and your heels. Really feel the connection between your hands into the ground, and make sure that you're feeling grounded. On your next inhale, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Grab your elbows and fold side to side. We're going to be doing a lot of different types of inversions in this practice. So it's good to do a lot of forward folds. Forward fold is a very light variation of an inversion. Good. On your next inhale, raise your hands all the way up. I'll step back a little bit. And grab your left wrist and bend to your right side, just arching your back a little bit. Really feeling the stretch in your side. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, grab your left wrist, your right wrist, and arch back a little bit. Really feeling it in your right side. Inhale, palms together, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, Walk your feet to the back of the mat and lower yourself down, chaturanga. Lift back up. Drop your knees, chest, chin to the mat. Inhale as you lift your heart to the sky. Exhale as you lift your hips into downward facing dog. Couple inhales and exhales here. And your next inhale, walk or step your feet to the front of the mat. Grab your elbows. Sway side to side. Inhale, lift your hands up. Grab your right wrist or grab your left wrist and turn to your right. Arching your back just a little bit. Really feeling it in your left side. Maybe even gazing at your left fingertips. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, grab your right wrist and turn to your left. Feeling it in your right side. Maybe even gaze at your right fingertips. Palms together and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, jump or step your feet to the back of the mat. Chaturanga. Lift your body back up. Drop your knees. Chest, chin. Inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And meet me in downward facing dog. This time, jump your feet or walk your feet to the front of the mat. Bend your knees. Inhale as you lift up, really drop down into your chair here. Nice and low. Your spine is long, your arms are up and lifted. Very active pose here in Uttanasana. On your next exhale, go ahead and twist your body and bring your left elbow to your right knee and look up past your right elbow. See if you can lift your left leg up off the mat and then slowly move it to the back of the mat. Drop your left hand on the mat next to your right foot and swing your right hand up in the sky. Nice twist here. Suck in your belly button. Gaze up past your thumb. If you need a block, you can go ahead and place a block right here next to your foot. And then when you're ready, lift your left leg off the mat and swing your body into Warrior 3. Keeping your balance in your right leg. Your gaze is at something that's not moving. Your spine is long. Your right knee has a nice micro bend in it. Your shoulders are back, your spine is long, your leg is long, maybe even a little micro bend in your right leg. Gaze forward to keep your balance. And when you're ready, crunch your knee forward. Grab your big toe with your left hand. So you have your left foot in your left fingertips. Grab it. You can keep your left knee bent. And then when you're ready, bend your right knee and lower down. to the ground, trying to keep your balance into a pistol squat. And then if you can, keep your butt off the ground for this. If not, that's okay. You can drop all the way down. And then bend your left knee into a squat. And then, so you're in this squat position. Go ahead and nestle your arms in and try to spread your legs apart with your elbows. Maybe your elbows are close to your shins, nice and wide. Oh, I love this stretch. It feels so good. A couple inhales and exhales here. And then place your left hand on the ground past your left foot. Raise your right hand up to the sky and take a nice twist. Your gaze maybe up at your right thumb. Don't forget to breathe here. Inhales and exhales. Good. Go ahead and release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Place your right hand past your right foot and then raise your left hand up in the sky. Everything is active. Inhales and exhales. Really feeling the connection in your upper body and lower body as you're in this pose. And release. We'll do our first balancing pose here. We're gonna do crow. So go ahead and see if you can trust yourself here and place your outside of your triceps to your shins. Whatever feels right to you. Maybe even lift one foot up, lift the other foot up. Whatever you gotta do. Maybe if you haven't done this before, you just keep practicing, lifting one foot up longer than the other foot. And if you're ready for it, go ahead and take your crow. And if you want something more when you're finished with balancing, jump your feet to plank. And lower yourself down into your chaturanga. Lift up. Drop your knees, chest, chin. Take your vinyasa. And meet me in downward facing dog. If you need to take a moment here, stay in downward facing dog as long as you want to. And when you're ready, jump or step your feet to the front of the mat. Lower down into your chair. Nice and low. Knees are bent. Spine is long. Arms are straight. Palms together. Place your right elbow to your left knee or just above it. Do the side prayer. Stay here for a moment as you're breathing in and out. And when you're ready, lift your right leg up. See if you can balance it up and bring it to the back of the mat. Drop your right hand to your left foot. Raise your left hand up in the sky. Nice twist here. Maybe gaze up at your left thumb. And same thing that we did on the other side. Go ahead and balance yourself into warrior three. So you're standing on your left foot And you're balancing your right foot back. Your arms can be forward or back, whatever you're comfortable with. If this is too much for you, you can use a block. You can place it on your right side and swing your right hand back. This is my favorite. Good. And when you're ready, bring your right knee forward, grab your right big toe with your right hand, straighten your leg out any way you like. And drop your foot, or lower your butt to the ground. See if you can stay up. Ooh, I almost fell. It's not easy. And then drop your bum, position yourself into your squat. Nestle in your legs one more time. I don't mind doing this a couple times. It feels so good. Bring your left arm back past your left foot and swing your right arm up in the sky. Your gaze is past your right fingertips. Okay, bring both hands to the left side of your mat. We're gonna practice side crow. So place your hands about shoulder width apart, maybe even longer if you have really long legs. You're gonna try to nestle your legs on your triceps. And usually what I like to do is I like to place my hip on to my tricep. So maybe somewhere around your knee, your leg and your hip. And then your hands are on the ground, your palms are spread out like a spider web. And then you see if you can lift. Lift one leg first, lift another leg, another foot, and then see if you can do the full balance. If you want something even more, you can lift your leg out. Good. And release. Get on the soles of your feet. Close your eyes for a second. Palms together. Check in with your breath. How is it feeling? Were you breathing while you're in that position? Or did you hold your breath? I feel like my breath is a little irregular. I probably held it while I was in the position. It's okay. Next time you just remember to breathe and it becomes easier and easier each time. And your next inhale, place your hands on the other side. What we do on one side, we must do on the other. So, palms on the ground. Nestle your left elbow into your right knee and your right elbow into your hip or something that feels good to you. Get in there nice and cozy and lift one foot then the other. And one side might be easier than the other. And if you want something more, go ahead and lift a leg or both legs or whatever you need to do. And if this is still too much for you, you can, maybe lift one leg and just let it hang there. Lift one foot off the mat at a time. Good. And when you're ready, just meet me back in your squat position. Your palms are together. Close your eyes. We will do crow one more time and jump back to plank. Go ahead and nestle your triceps into your shins and lift up. And when you're ready, go ahead and move back into plank any way you like. Drop into chaturanga, lift up, drop your knees, chest, chin. Take your vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Take a couple inhales and exhales here. Make sure your breath is regular. We have some more fun balances to do. When you're ready, drop your forearms to the mat. Bringing your body into dolphin pose. This is such an active pose. It's not my favorite. I feel like dolphin pose is pretty hard. But it's so good for our bodies. And this is another variation of an inversion. An easier inversion to get used to. Being upside down. Lift your left hand up and place it on the mat. Nice and wide. Your fingertips are long and wide. And bring this arm closer to your head. Drop your head and see if you could stay here if you like, but if you need something more, see if you can actually lift your body up into a funky form headstand. Go ahead and lift. You bend your knees going up, or some people like to widen your legs. You can spread your legs out. And you can bend your knees. What you do on one side, you always do on the other side. Good. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly come down, back into downward facing dog. Straighten your arms. If that was a lot, you can move into child's pose. We'll go ahead and move into child's pose. Widen your legs. Straighten your arms out or bring your arms to the side, whatever you're comfortable with. And rest. When you're ready, get back into your dolphin, bringing your forearms to the mat and lifting your legs. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. This time, lift your right hand, place it on the mat, fingers nice and wide. Bring your forearm close to your head on your left side, your left forearm, and maybe even whatever you feel comfortable with, maybe move your hands around until it feels right. Bring the crown of your head to the mat and lift up. You can bend your knees as you lift. Straighten your legs. Everybody seems to be a little bit different how they like to get into this position. Maybe even if this is too much for you, and if you're wondering, how do I do that? Lift one leg up and just maybe even do a little baby hops. And then lift the other leg up and do some hops. Eventually, you may find yourself up. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly move down. Drop your knees, get back into wide-legged child's pose, and take a moment, check in with yourself. Notice your breath. Your body should be pretty warm. One of the ways to relieve toxins out of your body is by sweating. And when you do inversions, it's a great way to work up your heart rate and secrete some sweat out of your body. So even when you do cardiovascular workouts, it's a great way to release all those toxins. All right, go ahead and meet me in downward facing dog. Raise your right leg up in the sky. Three-legged dog. This is a nice stretch for splits, standing splits, prepping for any type of splits. Bend your knee and drop it behind you. And lift your right leg or your right arm past your head. This is a good prep for doing back bends. This is one of my favorites. Make sure you're breathing, opening your chest. And drop your hand, raise your right leg back up in the sky. Bring it between your hands and straighten both legs out in front of you. Place your hands behind your back, clasp them. Inhale, lift up and do a forward fold. Both legs are active, your hips are over your feet. Make sure you're breathing here. And lift up. Turn to the side of your mat. Your feet are wider than your hips. And we're gonna do another type of inversion. If you're comfortable with doing handstands, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna show you how. I'm not very good at handstands, so I'm just going to be doing the best that I can and showing you how, and we'll see what happens. So place your hands on the mat, and you can, what I usually do is I like to place them shoulder width apart above my shoulders are above my wrists, and I bring my feet together. There's several ways you can do it. If you have a really strong upper body, shoulders and arms, you might be able to lift one foot up at a time. And then eventually, you know, lift up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some handstand hops. So I'm going to go ahead and hop several times. You put your feet together and just bend your knees and lift up until I feel that I'm capable of doing the handstand. And just keep hopping. And eventually you might be able to get the handstand. And if you need an extra boost, you can place your body up against the wall and kick up into the wall. But if you've already done handstands, this might actually be easier for you. A couple more hops. Inhale, lift your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Make sure you're breathing. Drop your knees to the mat and do a wide leg child's pose. Good. And bring yourself back up to the front of your mat. Inhale, raise our hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Jump or step your feet to the back of the mat. Take a vinyasa. And meet me in downward facing dog. This time raise your left leg up in the sky. Bend your knee and then flip your dog, placing your left foot behind you. Now raise your left hand over your head. Notice your breath as you're in this pose. Giving your spine a nice twist. And drop your left hand, raise your left leg up in the sky. Bring your left leg in between your hands. Drop your right foot. Sole is flush to the mat. Straighten your left leg. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift up and fold. Good. And lift up. And then turn to the side of your mat. You have another opportunity to do the handstand, or if you feel like you want to do a headstand, whatever you want to do at this very moment, handstand, headstand, or maybe just forward folding. If you just want to forward fold and just stay here for a minute, or you can place your hands on the mat and just go back and forth and, you know, feeling your hips and the wave of motion in your arms and your legs as you're here. I'm going to go ahead and lower down. I'm going to do a headstand, and I'm going to lift my legs up. Ooh, I don't think I've ever done the wide leg handstand before. Usually I do closed-legged. Here we go. Whatever you gotta do, maybe you can move your legs back and forth. Maybe even eagle your legs here. If you do eagle, you want to do it on both sides. So stay here for a few moments, and then release your legs and switch. Try to find balance in your mind. I feel like I'm like getting all sloppy over here because I'm trying to talk and balance at the same time. And when you're ready, drop down, wide leg child's pose, and just stay here for a moment. And bring your palms to the front of the mat. Lift your hips into downward facing dog. Raise your right leg up in the sky. This time, we're gonna bend our elbows, and we're gonna bring our right knee to our right elbow. Lower yourself down, Eka Pada Kundinyasana. And bring your left elbow to your left hip or whatever feels comfortable for you, and see if you can hang in this position. You could use a block for support, maybe even on your chin or your knee right here. Sometimes that might actually help. See if you can lift up and release. Take your vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. And what we do on one side, you can do on the other. If this is too much for you, I started out doing Kundinyasana with just one leg, and I would bring my body into plank. I would bring my left knee to my left elbow. I would bend my elbow and I would just hang there for a while. And I would just give myself a few inhales and exhales and just stay. And then I would lower my elbow and just hang there for a little bit. And then eventually, I would get to the actual full version of Kundinyasana. Good. Take a extended child's pose, like a cat. This is called puppy pose. And lift your hips up and bring your arms all the way out in front of you. And take a nice stretch. You can really feel it in your upper sides right here. And I'm sure you're ready for some relaxing postures. Go ahead and jump your feet. Widen your arms and your hands first, and see if you can jump your feet to the front of the mat. Cross your legs and just gently slide through. And take a seat. We'll do, if you place your right foot over your left thigh, and then bend your left knee and hang there. If you want to take the bind, go ahead and swing your left arm around your knee and bring it towards your back, and then swing your right arm behind you and bind if you can. If not, that's totally fine. Maybe, you know, if you get this far, eventually you'll be able to touch. And if this is too much for you, you can always just stay in this position and hang, or just fold forward. And release, shake it all out, and bring your left foot into your right thigh. Bend your right knee. Stay here, or if you want to take the bind, go ahead and swing your right arm behind your back around your right knee and swing your left arm behind you. A couple inhales and exhales here. Really feeling the twist in your organs, getting those toxins out of you. The more you twist, the more toxins secrete from your body. Good. Shake it out. This time, see if you can place your feet into lotus. If you're flexible, inversions, this might be easy for you. If not, you can do half lotus or crisscross applesauce. Inhale, lift your hands up, and exhale, fold. Really melting into the ground here. Notice your breath, bring your awareness inside. Notice a sense of calmness in your mind as you're doing these poses. And that's why people like to do yoga. It helps calm their mind and relieves anxiety. And release. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So if you brought your left foot into your right thigh, just switch it and bring your right foot into your left thigh and do it. Inhale, forward fold. And lift up, lay on your back, but keep your feet in the lotus position. Here, go ahead and turn to the side a little bit for you. And bring your legs up. See if you can do a shoulder stand in this position. And lift your hips up off the ground. Keeping your feet in lotus or half lotus or crisscross applesauce. If this is too much for you, go ahead and just see if you can lift your body up and bring your legs straight up. And you can do eagle, so many options here when you're doing shoulder stand. It's another type of inversion that's really good, bringing the blood to your upper portions of your body. Whatever you gotta do. And stay here for a moment and widen your legs. Maybe even stretch your ankles in this position and rolling your ankles back and forth in big circles. And lower your legs straight back behind you. Your legs are straight. Your stomach muscles are active. See if you can lock your Mula Bandha, which is your cervical muscle, and your Uddiyana Bandha, which is your stomach muscle, at the same time. Bringing your attention and awareness to your Mula and Uddiyana Bandhas. And if you want something more, go ahead and bend your knees and place the inside of your knees next to your ears and rest. Your hands can be on the mat. I like to sway back and forth in this position. You could even straighten your legs and move all your legs on one side and bend your knees and take a nice twist here. And what you do on one side, you do on the other side. Bend your knees and take a nice twist to the other side and bring in both knees to one side of your head. And release. And when you're ready, go ahead and take this moment, close your eyes. Somebody's at the door. Close your eyes. Take this moment and close your eyes. Notice the breath and relax. When you're ready, turn to the side of your mat. Go ahead and bring your right leg to the left side of your mat. Take a nice twist. Bring your right arm over to your right side. And press your right knee into the ground. Crunch your knees, give them a nice big hug, and twist your body, your legs to the other side, and swing your left arm to your left side, and twist. Notice a sense of calmness in your mind now compared to maybe even this morning in the chaos of the day. When you're ready, bring your body to the front of your mat, palms together, and thank you so much for doing the class. I really appreciate you watching and practicing with me. Namaste.